Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Barry and today you join me just outside of Pretoria with Volvo because as you can see, we are here for the launch of the brand new Volvo EX30 Cross Country. All the press vehicles are ready for us to go for a little drive. I'm with Mr. Sean Nurse and yeah, so we'll be having some exciting conversations about electric cars and what this proposes basically in the world of Volvo. So if you're ready to hop in with me, let's go experience the Volvo EX30 Cross Country. Before we hop in, let me first tell you what this car is all about. This is the first electric Volvo to carry the Cross Country nameplate. Of course, it's based on the normal twin ultra performance EX30, meaning it produces 315 kilowatts and 543 Newton meters of torque. This means it's the second fastest production Volvo ever with a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time of 3.7 seconds. More than enough for a car of this nature. What makes it different though is that Volvo has fettled with the Cross Country's chassis, adjusted its suspension and given it a total of 119 millimeters of increased ride height to tackle some light off-roading, as well as some cosmetic enhancements. That's enough talking though. What I, and I'm sure you, would like to know is what is it like to drive? So here we are in the new Volvo EX30 Cross Country. Now what this car proposes to be is a little bit more rugged, a little bit more off-road ready for someone who maybe doesn't just want to drive it in the city, that maybe wants to go for a weekend away into the bush and experience the more rugged side of life. And initial impressions are very, very cool. It is a Volvo, so there's something really cool about a Swedish car, in my opinion. I personally really like Volvo, and you have that uniqueness in terms of the very simplistic design in the interior, but we'll be delving into that a little bit later. Initial impressions, of course, it has those electric motors, which means you have instantaneous torque, and it is just always a joy to be able to experience that really, really cool acceleration, particularly off-road, but I'll be speaking more about that when we go on a little off-road part of our journey. Besides that, I think the big things are the lack of buttons. As part of that simplistic design, you don't have much in the way of buttons, and I do have a bit of an issue with that, but we'll also dive into that a little bit later. Now, I thought I'd give you a little demonstration of what that acceleration is like. So we are at 30 kilometers an hour, and when I depress my foot, and it's like a two-stage acceleration almost, and right there we're up into the speed limit. So 0 to 103.7 seconds. So I mean, more than fast enough for a car like this. Yeah, but I mean, all electric cars offer you that cool acceleration feeling. So it's cool to have it in a different context. Usually when you think of off-roading cars, you think of internal combustion, of course. And with this, it offers that, yeah, that really instant acceleration on the gravel road. But like I say, we'll be delving to that a little bit later on. Right, so usually on these press drives, it's not just one person that drives, usually with a drive buddy. And today I've got someone who is no stranger to the world of motoring journalism. I have Mr. Sean Nurse alongside me. So, Sean, what are your initial impressions of the EX30 Cross Country?
Look, overall, I like the EX30 in total. I think it's, especially in the dual motor trim, it's fast, it's quiet. I mean, if you don't have this roof basket that we have on this car, it's pretty refined and quiet. But I've always been a fan of the Volvo Cross Country range, and I quite like their EVs. To be honest though, the appeal for the South African market is so limited. Like, EX30 is already a niche product, and this is like a niche within a niche.
Yes.
Especially for overlanding. I mean, overlanding types pride themselves on carrying jerry cans of fuel so they can go anywhere and do anything, and I don't think Volvo has necessarily made this out to be an overlanding vehicle, but being a cross country, it does have that sort of off-road pretension to it. So I find it a bit of a strange thing for a South African environment. I think if you're in Sweden in the ice and you're driving short distances and you need to negotiate some treacherous road conditions, this type of thing makes a lot of sense. I just think an off-road ready EV in South Africa is a bit of a niche thing, and they're going to struggle to find an audience that wants to buy it. Look, I enjoy the car. We absolutely smashed it down that, and I don't mean smashed as in crashed it. I mean, we drove it really hard down a gravel road earlier.
And the suspension coped really, really well.
And it was really good. It's got 190 millimeters of ground clearance. It's more than capable of doing some light off-roading, and it's a really nice car. It's just the type of thing that I think would have a very limited appeal in amount of appeal in South Africa. And it's a type of thing you have to lease.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about this earlier. You don't buy an EV because they depreciate like nothing else. So you kind of want to just lease it, right?
Yeah.
So limited appeal, but overall, a really nice car to drive.
Yeah. So let me pose this question to you. Near enough 1.2 million rand for this car.
Yeah.
Is it worth the money?
Personally, I don't think so. But I don't think any of the electric cars in South Africa are truly worth what they are asking for them, purely because they are so heavily taxed. If the government came to the party and reduced taxation on electric cars like everywhere else in the world, these would be a lot more reasonable in terms of their pricing. So yes, I think overpriced, but not necessarily Volvo's fault. They have to, if they want to make money, charge a specific amount for the car, but it's ultimately down to governments needing to come to the party to make these things a bit more attractive for people.
Well, I think that offered some fantastic insight into what the car offers. We have still got about 40 odd, no, I lie. We've got a little bit more to go on the journey, and then I'll catch up with you very soon. Right, so here we find ourselves on a nice piece of gravel road, and I must say the suspension of this car really complies well with all the undulations. I mean, this is some pretty rough stuff, and I mean, my voice is hardly shaking. So, I think that's probably where this car comes into its own. That very niche within the niche that Sean was speaking of means that you can have a play around with a car like this. 1.2 million rand on gravel road. I'll leave that for you to decide whether you'd like to do that with stones and everything jumping up. But the suspension is very impressive, and with that torque, you feel the traction control jumping in a little bit over there. I mean, it's so much fun, and I think it's something that an internal combustion engine car wouldn't necessarily be able to offer, because of course with a turbocharged car you've got that little bit of turbo lag, and the car takes a while to accelerate, whereas with this, I mean, it's instant torque, off you go. Traction is also really good. So in terms of the off-road experience that the EX30 Cross Country offers, I think it's definitely a fun little toy to play with. And if you're one of those people who will be using the roof rack, going for a weekend away to, I don't know, some forgotten place that you'll need to travel on a dirt road on, well, I think you'll definitely not be disappointed with the experience that the EX60 offers. Right, so I thought I'd take you through the exterior as well as the interior of the XC30 Cross Country, because that's something we haven't done yet. So here we go. And you know what, as I said in the car as well, it is traditional Volvo styling, and that is not a negative at all. It looks cool, it looks modern, it looks electric. Of course, you don't need a massive front grille because there's no engine to cool, of course. And electric cars tend to have these weird, like, aerodynamic wheels, which are cool. I mean, that's not exclusive to this, but as you can see, nice dirty car that we have over here, and this is fitted with the optional experience pack, so that's an extra 25 to 30,000 rand. It gives you that, as well as one other thing that I can't remember off the top of my head, but that is on top of the 1.185 million rand asking price that Volvo is asking for this car. But overall, it's not a massive car, but it's not supposed to be massive. It offers a really nice size for a family of four to go and adventure off into the dirt roads of South Africa. And I mean, that's what you want. Nice LED lights as well. So this in the grey as well suits the car very well, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much an exterior view of the XC30 Cross Country. Of course, you have the normal XC30 on which this is based, of course, and that also comes with various electric motors. But let us open and excuse the beeps. But yeah, basically the interior, very clean, very minimalistic. As you can see, we've got the air conditioning blowing here as well. The lack of buttons is something that I'm sure you know by now that I'm not a big fan of. Everything is done through the screen, and I'm just not a massive big fan of that. You go into your car status, your trip information, all that. As you can see, we've had some interesting driving during our time with the car in the short while that we've had it. But yeah, everything from the air conditioning you can set over there, no buttons for that. The lights as well, you can set like exterior lights, for example. And that poses a interesting dilemma, because if I switch it back to myself, the car, this is something that you can turn off, but the car actually tells you that you need to focus on the road whenever you look at the screen. And that's very ironic, because you have to look at the screen because you have so many settings that you have to put input into the car. So it's a bit odd, but that is something that you can turn off. So that is something just worth noting. Besides that, it's also very ironic that the safety systems, when you go off-road, it doesn't like it at all. It thinks you're going to crash and that you know, departing lanes, and that's not really what's happening. So this is the feature effectively or the thing that detects your face, and it tells you to focus on the road. So it's very strict in that, but with nice reassuring calm beeps and bongs. So that is interesting. Like even the glove box, I mean, really, no, not even a button for the glove box. I really think it offers a potential hazard, and it's not exclusive to Volvo. It's everybody pretty much. So I understand Volvo's clean and minimalistic approach. However, I would really like if they could bring back buttons. Over here you've got your buttons for your locking the car, unlocking the car, the rear of course, and your windows, which are actually physical switches. So that's cool. Let's have a look at the boot, or the trunk, as what is it saying there? Press until okay, we shall do as it obeys. There we go. Let's go and have a look then at the boot, or the trunk as it says. And yeah, you know, decent sized boot. I think you'll get enough luggage for a weekend away. Obviously your charging things that you have over here. Additionally, what you get with the purchase price of this car is effectively free charging for, I believe it's 2 years in the public infrastructure charging network that you can use for that. And you have a wall box as well that you get with the car, and that is Volvo trying to incentivize people to buy this car, because effectively you'll be able to drive this car at no cost to you fuel wise, well, electric wise, for 2 years. And I think that's really an exciting proposition for the XC30, any aspiring XC30 owners. So yeah, so that is an overview of the interior as well as the exterior of the XC30 Cross Country. Well, there you have it. That has been my driving review of the Volvo EX30 Cross Country. And I think, to sum it up, I think Sean said it pretty well. This car is a niche within a niche. I think it's going to be interesting to see what Volvo's sell figures are going to look like with this car. But I think it's quite a unique offering. It's an electric off-roader. It's not an off-roader in the sense that you're going to take it on off-road courses and you're going to be doing like Land Rover Defender style off-roading. This is a car for dirt roads, light off-roading, and in that respects, with the limited time that we've had with the car today, I think it does its task really well. So overall, I think it's a very nice offering. 1.2 million rand. It's a lot of money, let's be honest, but for people who are interested in these kind of cars, who would even consider it, I don't think money would necessarily be an issue. I think there are so many incentives for the car that Volvo are trying to push and encouraging people to buy the car. You know, do you need it over the Volvo EX30, the normal one? Well, if you're not going to do the off-roading, and perhaps don't buy the cross-country version, because that's really all it does. It gives you that extra ground clearance. You've got all the bits of accessories and all the different styling upgrades with the car as well. So in that regard, I don't think necessarily that too many people will be considering it. But if you are one of those people, I think you'll be very happy. The interior quality of the vehicle is really amazing. Of course, the car is manufactured in China. It's not a Swedish car per se. It's manufacturing. Of course, Volvo is a Swedish company, but the build quality definitely isn't skimping. It feels very nice. Inside, the tactility inside the car is very cool. So overall, I think I would definitely recommend it. If you're in the market, I would say give it a go. Give it a test drive, and you'll never know if you like it if you don't test drive a vehicle. And so there you are. That has been the driving review of the EX30 Cross Country. Let me know, would you even consider something like the EX30? Let me know in the comments below. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. I'll catch you again very soon with another video. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So until next time, bye-bye.